Hello, today we're doing an 80,000 mile service on our 2019 Honda Pilot. We're just doing an oil change right now. So we have our Pennzoil Ultra Platinum 0W20. It takes 5.7 quarts. I have 1.7 in this pitcher. Once I pour that in, I'll put 4 more in. And then I have my Purelator Boss oil filter. I've got a new 14mm crush washer for the oil drain plug. I have a 17mm socket to loosen the drain plug. I have a 17mm magnetic socket to get it off without it falling into my oil pan. I'll put links to everything in the video description. This whole thing is optional. You don't need this and you don't need that, but you will need some sort of ratchet and a 17mm socket. Out of all the oil filter wrenches on this vehicle, I prefer the pliers style. I like these. And then I use the Glad Press and Seal to cover up the crossbar from oil drips. So while we're standing right here, got my rag, just going to dip my finger in the clean oil, and I'm going to put some on this black rubber ring right here. Just going to go ahead and get that ready for us. And then I'm going to pre-fill this oil filter while we're right here. That's an optional step you don't have to do, but this helps protect the engine during that initial startup when it doesn't have any oil in it. So we're going to leave our oil there for when we're ready. I'm going to grab my press and seal, my washer, my new filter, my pliers, and these, and head out here. So what we've done, normally I do a tire rotation with this, but we just rotated the tires when we replaced the brakes recently. So what I did differently was I only jacked up the front. And so on the back, we have wheel chocks on the back for safety, so the car can't go backwards, and we also have the emergency brake set. So what we do right here, and up top there with the hood up, we have our oil cap loosened all the way and just resting so that air can flow. And then for the dipstick, we also pulled the dipstick out and just let it rest, so that when we want to drain our oil, we have some airflow. This Glad Press and Seal, I just rip a piece off, and it's to protect this crossbar right here, right under the oil filter. So when we take that oil filter off, oil is definitely going to drip a little bit as soon as I loosen it. And I've tried a bunch of different ways and just find this to work for me. Okay. Okay. Now I got my oil drain pan under here. So right now I'm just going to start loosening it. As soon as I loosen it, that oil's going to spill a little. I'm going to get my pliers out of the way, keep them clean. Just give that oil filter a little spin. There's going to come my oil right now. But if you stop and just give it a second, it's only going to drip for a little bit. So see, that press and seal is protecting that cross beam and also guiding it right down into my oil drip pan. It's already pretty much stopped. I'm going to go ahead and keep spinning. I also wear these rubber gloves, and I have multiple pairs on because I always ruin one doing the oil filter right away, so I can just peel it off. So I'm going to go ahead and take off my little wrist guard so I don't get oil on it, because I'm just going to grab it. I'm not going to worry about getting oil on this glove that I'm going to change. So just kind of spin it the rest of the way. I'm going to turn it upside down in my pan there. And then I'm just going to peel off this this outer glove. Okay, got my red rag here, my shop rag. I'm going to try not to get it in all that. We're down to a slow drip. I just want to kind of wipe this. Always make sure the black rubber seal, the one that we put oil on the new one, on the new filter, just make sure that came off with your oil filter, and ours did. So I just wipe this really good with the shop towel to make sure that everything's clean. And then I'm gonna grab my new oil filter, keeping it upright because we pre-filled it. I'm just gonna put it on there, line it up. Spin it till it contacts the base. I don't have to worry about it dripping anymore. Now what I'm going to do is carefully try not to undo what we did with this press and seal effort, and try to drag this down into the pan without it spilling the oil on what we've been using it to keep oil off of, which, see how it's just going to kind of go with gravity there. So there, we did it. Our bar is clean, and we're going to rotate this filter by hand about 3/4 of a turn. Just hand tighten with one hand there. That's good enough. Just kind of wipe our crossbar because I washed the car yesterday, but it's not going to get everything. So and then sometimes your oil pan, where we're going to be draining our oil, you can see it right back there. Sometimes when you spin that oil filter, it'll slosh oil back on that pan. But this time we had our press and seal going up, and so it didn't get any oil back there. Those are just things I've picked up on after doing this a bunch of times. Alright, so our oil filter is done. So now I'm gonna get rid of the press and seal and the glove and the filter that's in here, so that when I drain my oil it doesn't bounce off of anything. So I'm gonna take a moment to clean this up. Alright, so I'm using the 17mm socket just to break it free. I have a 3/8 extensible ratchet so I can get a little more torque on it. So I'm just gonna break that free. And then I'm going to switch over to my Milwaukee ratchet and my magnetic socket so that I can keep my hand out of the way. I got my drain pan in place, get my socket positioned. And then I'm just going to do that, get my hand out of the way. Make sure the oil pan is going to still be where it needs to be when the oil starts to slow down. So I can just leave it right there. Just going to let that drain while I clean this up. Alright, I just want to show you this. You may not have ever heard about this. So when you look at this crush washer, I hope it shows up on camera, I can tell this side is extremely flat. It's like a machined side. But on the other side, and you can almost on the edge you can kind of see a color difference, but on this side it's more rounded. The edges are more rounded. So what you want to do on a crush washer is take this machine side, the flat side, and put it right up against your bolt, so the flat side is mating with that, so you won't have any leaks. And then this more rounded side, when you torque it down, it's going to crush and make a good seal in between your oil pan and the bolt head. So that's the proper way to put on your crush washer. Alright, so we're just down to a very slow drip. So we're going to just take our bolt by hand. It's got our new crush washer on it, and we're just going to try to get it started. We're just gonna do it by hand. So I just hand tighten it. Now I can take my rag and clean up because I won't have any more drips now. Okay, now I can move my oil pan out of the way. Okay, I have my torque wrench set to 30 foot-pounds. So I'm gonna get my socket on there. $22, $24, $25, $28, $30. All right, so we're done down here. Now all we have to do is add our oil up top. All right, on this vehicle I use this funnel. I'll put the link in the description. It's very pliable. It's not like a hard plastic. Costs a little bit of money, but I find it worth it because it goes right down in there. I can rest the handle right here, which keeps it secure. So I really love that funnel for these vehicles. So I get that. I get my 1.7 quarts of oil. I'll pour it in first. Then I'm going to go back and get 4 more quarts. I like using these pitchers because, you know, I buy them in a 5-quart jug. This takes 5.7, and no matter what your car takes, unless it takes the exact amount of the jug, you're going to need a way to measure increments. Alright, this is 4 more quarts. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and reset our maintenance minder. Oh, I didn't know if I was supposed to start it or if I was just supposed to be in that accessory mode. Let me see. I had my foot on the brake, so it started. If I wanted to be in accessory mode, I could have left my foot off the brake. Vehicle. Go down to maintenance is the last one. Is it going to let oil life 30%? We'll reset all because we just did the tire rotation. There we go. So that's how you reset your maintenance minder. So you can do it with the car on as long as you're, not driving. So our oil change is done. We will, of course, after we run the vehicle for a while, get it on level ground. We'll check the level, but it's 5.7 quarts is what it always takes. So thank you for watching. I hope that's been helpful.